Whiskers, the queen of her cozy home on a quiet little lane called Maplewood Street in a cozy cottage with flower pots in every window, lived Whiskers, a soft, striped tabby cat with a heart as warm as freshly baked bread. But Whiskers wasn't just any ordinary cat. She didn't spend her days chasing mice or lounging in the sun. No, Whiskers had a bigger mission. She was a full-time housewife, a full-time mom, and full-time magic to everyone in her home. Morning Whiskers, morning magic every morning. Just as the sun peeked through the curtains, Whiskers would stretch her paws, yawn with the grace of a ballerina, and tie her favorite apron, the one with little blue fish printed on it. "Rise and shine, my sleepy muffins," she'd call, gently waking her 3 kittens, Muffin, Pudding, and Biscuit. Muffin was the bookworm, Pudding was the troublemaker, and Biscuit was the thoughtful one who kept a little journal of everything. Each had their own tiny room with colorful blankets, toys, and wall posters of heroic jungle cats. While the kittens rubbed their sleepy eyes, Whiskers was already busy in the kitchen. She cooked fish-shaped pancakes, warm honeyed milk, and placed their backpacks by the door, packed with snacks and tiny notes of love. Then, with a warm hug and a brush of her whiskers against their cheeks, she'd walk them to the cat bus stop, their little paws waving as the bus zoomed off. The queen of chores. Once the house was quiet again, Whiskers began her second shift, cleaning, organizing, decorating, and sometimes rescuing the fish tank from a curious paw. She vacuumed, on the silent purr mode, fluffed the cushions, scrubbed the floors with catnip-scented soap, and watered the garden, especially her pride and joy, the minty catnip patch. She was a fantastic cook too. For lunch, she made sardine sandwiches and sipped chamomile tea, sometimes joined by her neighbor, Mrs. Tabberton, who came for gossip and knitting lessons. Whiskers also loved crafts. She sewed fish-shaped cushions, embroidered paw print napkins, and even made custom toys for her kittens. Her diary was always open, filled with to-do lists and tiny doodles of smiling faces. Evening hugs and homework. When the kittens returned from cat school, the house would burst with stories, giggles, and the occasional "Mewum, Pudding hid my pencil." Whiskers was patient. She helped with homework, answering Muffin's endless why questions, fixing Pudding's broken ruler, and listening to Biscuit's poetry. Dinner was always special. Sometimes grilled salmon, mashed peas, and creamy desserts. Every meal was served with love and lots of laughter. After dinner came story time, where Whiskers would gather her kittens and read from their favorite book, The Great Jungle Queens. Her quiet moment when everyone was finally tucked into bed, Whiskers would tiptoe into her favorite armchair, curl up with her novel, sip some warm milk, and write in her diary. Today, Biscuit wrote in her journal, "My mum is the best cat in the whole wide world." Whiskers smiled, her tail softly flicking. "I'm not just a housewife," she whispered to herself. "I'm the heart of this home, the purr behind the peace, the whiskers behind every smile." And as the moon rose high, Whiskers dozed off with the sweet feeling of a day well lived. And so every day, Whiskers ruled her little kingdom not with claws or crowns, but with warmth, wisdom, and whisker kisses.